ready to get on the hot seat with Wally George? Hang on for the wildest, most controversial talk show on television, featuring enthusiastic participation from our live studio audience and interviews with provocative newsmaker guests. And now, here he is, that hard-hitting, award-winning, conservative voice of television, Wally George!
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Welcome all across America. I'm Wally George. This is Hot Seat. This is the one talk show that has guts. I am the one conservatively oriented talk show on the air in America who's standing up to those ludicrous liberal idiots. And rest assured, as long as Wally is on the air, the United States of America will remain number one. We have Martin Lewis here with us tonight, and he's shooting some stuff for the Terry Wogan show on the BBC. Let's hear it for them. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, I just thought of something. I've already conquered America. Now we got to conquer England. Hey, what about Wally for Prime Minister? What do you think? Okay. Oh, hold down, guys. Okay, hold down. Shh. Quiet in the audience, please. Hold down the audience. Now, on my show tonight, we have two ludicrous liberal idiots. We have Mike Hubbell on the show tonight, and he's debating me on sexual harassment in America. He's in favor of this legislation that was vetoed, thank heavens, by Governor Pete Wilson of California, that would have enabled women to collect $200,000 on sexual harassment charges. Wait a minute. I say a lot of women on the job are asking to be sexually harassed. Hey, you know what? Some bimbos come to work. Some bimbos come to work in these micro mini skirts and tight sweaters, and someone whistles at them, and they scream sexual harassment. Give me a break. And then we have Craig McIlvany of the Freedom Fighters of America. He is here to push for the legalization of all drugs in America. I say we do not want a bunch of zombies in America. We will just say no to drugs in America. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think a few in the audience may already be on drugs. It's not, hey, you don't want to be, hey, you guys don't want to wind up brain dead, do you? Okay. Now, before I do my commentary of the night, it is time, hold it, guys. It is time to introduce our Wally crew. In the booth is my fine director, Jeff Bingham. Let's hear it for Jeff, everybody. Right here on the floor is my producer, my beautiful wife, Janice George. Right there, let's hear it for Janice. And let's hear it. Hey. And let's hear it for my little daughter Holly right there. Holly. Okay. All right. Our floor director, Greg Taylor, everybody. Let's hear it for Greg. That's it. And who's on the Wally cam? We have Joe Abesso on the Wally cam. There's Joe. All right, now everybody hold it down, please, in the audience. And welcome across America on the Channel America Television Network. We're now seen every week, in fact, 6 nights a week, on the Channel America Television Network, reaching into some 27 million homes all across America. Yeah. Okay. All right, now let's hold it down because it is time for my commentary of the night.
No.
Oh, yes. Hold down. Hold down the audience. Quiet, please. Quiet in the audience. Okay. Wherever you are across America, pay attention. This is a very important commentary. I say America must be on guard. Racists like David Duke are pushing themselves forward and gaining acceptance as they run for political office in America. How are they doing it? By pushing the right buttons, by telling voters things they want to hear. Now, David Duke, former head of the KKK, never talks about his days as the leader of the Ku Klux Klan. He never talks about hatred and bigotry and all that. David Duke has shed his Klan robes for a dark conservative business suit. Unfortunately, he is running as a Republican. He has become a shrewd politician who exploits and manipulates the deepest fears of the white working class and middle class Americans. I say it is frightening to behold. And you may say to me, well, so what, Wally? David Duke is way down south in Louisiana. A racist like him could never succeed in political office in any other part of the country. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Don't believe it. Another racist named Tom Metzger, another former leader of the KKK, was almost elected to the United States Congress right here in Southern California. Oh, it's terrible. I say we must, hold it. I say we must not allow these scumbags to gain a foothold in American politics. We must repudiate them. We must let them know that racists are not welcome in government positions. I'll be right back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Hot Seat. Thank you very much. And remember, we're here every week, 6 nights a week on the Channel America Television Network, as a matter of fact. Tell your friends. And you people here in Southern California, our Southern California viewers, remember, we're on every night, Monday through Friday, 11 to 11:30. We do Hot Seat highlights. I do a commentary every night. And then we show you some of the most outrageous moments from the past 9 years of my Hot Seat show. And on Saturday night, 11 to 12 midnight, right here in Southern California, on this channel you're watching, we do a brand new Hot Seat show. We've been on the air here, closing in on our first decade on the air. And I'll tell you what, and we're going to be here for another 3 decades. What do you think? And you know why this show continues along year after year? Because we have the best studio audiences in America right there. That's right. Terry Wogan would cut off his right arm to have an audience like I have. Okay. Hold down, guys. Now, it is time to introduce our first ludicrous victim on the hot seat. He's been here. He's one of our regulars. He's been here before, and every time I wipe the floor with this guy. And tonight is not going to be any exception, is it? Now, here is Mike Hubbell, who is in favor of the sexual harassment legislation here in California.
Hey, Wally, look at.
No. Let me start off.
This audience, this may be your great, loyal, supportive audience. This is, as you said earlier, this may be your loyal, supportive, great audience.
Right.
But the way it looks to me, they're nothing more than a cast for George Romero's production, Night of the Living Dead Part 3. You guys, they don't need, these guys don't need radioactivity to make them nuts.
Speaking of the living dead, this guy looks and smells like a corpse. Now hold on. Hold down the audience. Now hey guys, we gotta have control. Hey, anybody who, hey. Hold down the audience. Those of you who don't hold it down now are going to leave in about 10 seconds. Okay?
Well, I've got a couple of...
No, I'm talking now, nitwit.
All right, hey. That's fine.
Just know one thing. I control this program. Right. Let me tell you this. I have a question to ask you. How could you possibly favor this sexual harassment bill that, thank God, was vetoed by Governor Wilson here in California? And I was afraid it might have spread across the country, but Governor Wilson, thank God, vetoed it. But you're still in favor of resurrecting it, where if a woman wins a sexual harassment suit on the job, she would get up to $200,000 in judgment.
Okay, Wally, hey.
How can you be in favor of that?
Hey, the money isn't really a matter. The object of the whole thing is not the money, okay? First of all, by Congress exonerating Clarence Thomas the way they did, which was right because the evidence was inconclusive against him, possibly the wrong message was sent across the nation to the rest of the victimized women throughout sexual harassment throughout the country.
Will you stop boring us to death and answer my question?
I'm going to tell you.
I asked you.
Pete Wilson.
Wait a minute.
I'll tell you what.
Wait.
Hey, Pete Wilson.
Wait a minute.
Hey, I am talking. I'm talking. Hey.
Don't you dare bang your fist.
Oh, I have to be allowed to talk here, okay? Hey, Pete Wilson,
Don't throw any signs from the audience or you're gone.
Pete Wilson needs to send the correct message across this country. By signing that bill, he'll prove to these ladies they do have protection, they do have rights, and they need to be protected from these idiots in the workplace that are sexually harassing. They should all be hung from a high tree.
Don't you realize, Mike, that when you are going to sign a bill that could give women up to $200,000 judgments, that would open the floodgates, as the governor said, to thousands and thousands of baseless lawsuits for women who say, well, what do I got to lose? I'll file a lawsuit, and if I lose, so what? If I win, I get $200,000. I say that's ludicrous!
statement amazes me. That statement amazes me.
You've got to admit that it would open the floodgate to a lot of baseless lawsuits. Don't you agree with that?
Well, that statement amazed me. To say that it would open the door for a multitude of lawsuits is like trying to say these people out here are not on drugs. Now, give me a break. A bunch of freaks out here, all of you. All freaks.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold it. Hey, don't you insult my audience, you idiot. Wait a minute.
A mob of freaks out here, Wally. A mob of freaks.
Your brain has obviously been dead for years. Now, you know, Mike, that there would be women, if this law was passed, there'd be women all across this country, and you know what they would do? They would get together with their fellow employees, and one female would say, hey, I'm going to bring a lawsuit against my boss, and then you got to be my witness to say that you saw him pinch me on the buns or whatever. And then they go into court, they have witnesses, the bimbo gets the $200,000 and she splits it up with her friends. That kind of thing cannot happen. And you know what, Mike?
Well, first of all, there have already been plenty of lawsuits filed without the incentive program of $200,000.
Yeah, and this would be a lot. This would bring a lot more lawsuits. We don't need any more lawsuits clogging our courts.
Well, what I'd like to say, though, without this thing, putting all this stuff aside, Wally, I think it's more of a psychological effect by passing this bill. By Senator or Governor Wilson signing this bill, what he'd be doing is basically putting a psychological effect upon the businesses, where all the businesses would stand up, weed out all the bad apples, warn all their people, do this or you'll get fired or whatever. And warn these people. It'd be more of a psychological ploy and not a legal situation.
No, it would not be a psychological ploy.
It would open their eyes and they'd quit all this erroneous treatment to these women. It's ridiculous.
Hey, you know what? Hold on. The only thing it would do, Mike, it would give impetus. It would certainly give women the opportunity. It would give women the opportunity to say, here's a way I can make a heck of a lot of money. And I say, a lot of women who are so-called sexually harassed in the office place are asking to be sexually harassed.
Hey, Wally, you know what? Hey, it's the same old story. It's the same old story, Wally. You and your conservative Republicans, all of you, and your chauvinistic ideals. You guys are insensitive. You're chauvinistic. You don't care. You don't care about minorities. You don't care about women. There are a lot. This is the real problem in the United States of America today. And you people, by not opening your ears and eyes to this, you're being a fool. You're more of a fool than this guy is right here.
Oh!
Well, I've had just about enough of it.
Let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you what happens in a lot of offices. Hold the audience. Let me tell you what happens in a lot of offices. Female employees come to work wearing skin-tight micro mini skirts. Yeah, listen. And then they wear skin-tight sweaters. Then they go wiggling down the hallway, and then her employer says, hey, you look pretty sexy, and the girl files sexual harassment charges. I'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Wally George, and this is Hot Seat. I'll tell you, we're here. We are talking about sexual harassment on the job and the sexual harassment bill that was proposed here in California and could spread across the country, where female employees could file sexual harassment charges against their employers and collect up to $200,000. And I say that's ludicrous. How about you?
Hey, well, you mentioned a compliment. You mentioned compliments when an employer compliments a person, compliments a female. A compliment is one thing, and then it leads on to something else. Now, neither you or I was there when Clarence Thomas was behind closed doors with Anita Hill when he talked about Long Dong Silver.
Well, wait a minute.
Neither one, nobody was there. So wait a minute, Mike. Know the truth.
Mike, nobody was there. So why do you believe her and not him, you stupid dimwit?
There's a shadow of a doubt. under the Constitution.
There was nobody there. There was nobody there. Anita Hill. First of all, this whole thing about Anita Hill and Judge Clarence Thomas was ridiculous. There were no witnesses. It was just one dingbat bringing up charges against this man, Clarence Thomas. And I say the whole thing should have been thrown out to begin with.
Well, okay, hey, her real problem.
No witnesses. Nobody to corroborate. It's one woman saying things against him. Why in the world did they make such a big deal? And that's the same thing that could happen with this bill.
Well, the only fact I'll really agree with on that, Wally, is the fact that by waiting 8 years to bring up her case, that was the killer for Anita Hill. Most Americans sat back and said, well, why did she wait 8 years?
She waited almost 10 years.
Okay, and plus the fact she had no cohorts or anybody close to her. Generally, women have someone, one of their good friends, they tell about it, okay? She didn't have complete evidence, but we don't know for sure that things weren't said. We have no idea. Washington sent the wrong damn message to the women of America, and Pete Wilson has not got the guts to stand up and give women protection. They have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt in the court of law. Once they prove it, then they should be awarded, and the perpetrator should be shot.
Wait a minute, Mike. How did it? Wait. Just wait. Hold it. Now let's examine that. Just how do you prove something? Okay. Now Anita Hill had no witnesses. If this law is signed into law across this country in many states, what will happen? As I said earlier, sure, you got to prove your case, right? You got to prove. So if a woman knows that if she wins her case, she can get $200,000, what is to stop her for doing a little work in the office, lining up 2 or 3 of her friends at the office to be witnesses to go into court? If a woman makes charges, brings up 3 witnesses from the office, says, yes, I saw him sexually harass her, she's going to win the case, and they can just be conspiring against the boss, and that's the kind of thing we cannot allow to happen in America.
Hey, Wally, I don't know too many women.
They can set the boss up.
I don't know too many women, money aside or whatever, that would risk their reputation and put themselves through the traumatic situation it puts them through. They get damaged. They're psychologically, their profiles are ruined, their careers are ruined. They go through a lot of problems.
Do you think any woman would stop to get $200,000?
Hey, Wally, you'd be surprised. Hey, a lot of people have a hell of a lot more pride than some people do, okay? And for the sake of money, they would.
What about the men who in America who are sexually harassed by women at their office? What about that, Mike?
Hey, Wally, I don't see them. Hey, I don't see the men lining up in courtrooms, you guys. So come on,
Yeah, well,
that
listen.
doesn't make sense to me at all.
You know why? Listen. And here's why. It's a double standard. It's all baloney. You see, if a woman happens to call a guy sexy, do you get upset with that? No, of course not.
Well, yeah, like I said before, a compliment is one thing, but the next thing you know, it's, oh, hey, when are we going to go out? The next thing is one thing, it's a grab.
Wait a minute.
Hey, it goes too far. These guys have got to prove their manhood by taking it out on the women. They're battered husbands.
Well, I have news for you, pal. You can never prove your manhood.
I'm not on trial here, Wally. I am not on trial.
Here's the whole thing that I'm trying to say is there are men who are sexually harassed by their female employers, but you know what? These women are so many female employees, they say they're being sexually harassed, but you know that women like to be whistled at, don't they? Now,
with class, Wally, with class.
Let's re-examine, let's redefine what sexual harassment really means. Do you know, this is so ludicrous, do you know that if an employer happens to call his female employee honey or dear, he can be guilty of sexual harassment? Oh, come on!
Hey, Wally, that is a complete and total falsehood.
No, it isn't.
Hey, there's no way.
It was listed. Hey, it was listed among a whole list of what is considered to be sexual harassment on the job. Also, if an employer happens to call an adult woman a girl, that is sexual harassment. Oh, give me a break.
I'll tell you right now, Wally. Once again, it comes to within the context of the conversation. What I don't understand is why the conservative Republicans, why is this movement so insensitive and so chauvinistic about women? What are they afraid of? Why don't they give women some rights to where they can defend themselves and send the correct message? Washington made a big mistake. They gave Clarence Thomas a break. They should have. They made a big mistake and sent the wrong message to the women women of America. Let's give them a chance.
What's this wrong message that they send? What is this wrong message?
The wrong message is if you come up and you try and contest somebody, you will not only lose, you will be belittled, you'll be berated, you'll lose your profession, and be made to look like a fool, like you did to Anita Hill.
Here's what I say, Anita Hill and others in the office. Do you know what? When Anita Hill said that she was so distraught over the sexual harassment by Clarence Thomas, they asked her under oath, did you ever go to Clarence Thomas and ask him to stop? And she said, no. Now I say, if a woman is being treated by her boss in a way that she doesn't like, don't you think before she brings any charges, she should go up and ask him to please stop it? But no, they don't have to do that. All the guy has to do is call her honey or tell her she looks sexy, and bingo, she may have a $200,000 lawsuit, and I say that is baloney. How do you answer that?
Okay, all I say, Wally, all I say is there are very, very few women that will go ahead and do something like that. They have to have conclusive evidence. Lady Justice is blind.
I just told you, you idiot. I just told you.
They have to have.
They can get.
That's inconclusive.
They can work together. They can get. Don't nod your head at me, or.
That's inconclusive, though. What about a man's patterns?
You know what?
What about a man's patterns?
Hey, hold on. Every time he nods his head like that, I can hear the marbles shaking in his head. Now listen, what I'm trying to get across, what I'm trying to get across to your drug dead brain is the fact that women can conspire in the office and get fellow employees to corroborate their accusations.
Unless that man's got a history of sexual offenses in the past and a historical pattern is built up from his past when he's done, that woman has no case at all, and you know damn well she doesn't.
Let me get your opinion on this. Let me get your opinion on this. Howard Rosenberg, hold it, guys. Howard Rosenberg in the Los Angeles Times points out that miniskirts send the wrong message to men at the office. How do you feel about that?
Miniskirts are back in fashion. If that's the case, then your suit sends the wrong message to anybody else, too. It's a fashion. They can be allowed. Women should be allowed to wear whatever they want to wear. Well, I don't understand this.
When a woman wears a tight micro miniskirt, that is sending a message, isn't it?
Well, then you might as well say, then if you say that, if he says something like that, then you might as well say that a woman deserves to get raped, too, if she looks nice.
Oh,
exactly
no, I didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
What's
the difference? What's the difference?
It is a difference, because when a girl comes to work, we'll go a little long on this, okay, Greg? When a woman comes to work in a micro miniskirt and a tight sweater, and then she gets whistled at or called sexy or whatever, she's asking for that. And I say that kind of thing is just stupid. And let's go to the audience. We have a girl. Come on up. Let's go to the audience. Okay, yes. Yes, come up to the podium, please. Okay, there's Okay. Can I have your name and your question? Go ahead.
It's Adrian.
Okay, Adrian, go ahead.
First of all, I just want to say Anita Hill, I want to know why she followed him all the way around
from job
the
to
place.
job, right, yeah.
After she got sexually harassed, you know. And then I also want to say that there's a fine line between it, you know, like Wally was saying. I mean, if you get whistled at, that's sexual harassment.
And it isn't.
If he calls you honey, she consumed for sexual harassment.
The interpretation is critical, and I understand.
And
that was her.
Let
her talk, idiot.
Well, go ahead.
Let me ask you, what's your first name?
Adrian.
Now, if you're at work and your boss happens to call you honey or dear or sweetheart, would you feel that he was sexually harassing you?
No.
He was just being affectionate and using.
If a girl goes to work in a miniskirt, she wants to look nice. You know.
Right, she does, but she doesn't deserve to be abused, though, does she?
Well, there's a fine line.
The
like
interpretation.
Sexually, abuse is not calling her sexy or whistling at her.
It's how it's said, Wally. It's how it's said. What if the guy comes up, puts his arms around her, and says the same thing to her? Is that the same thing as making a compliment from across the room?
I saw some guys putting his arms around you out in the hallway, and you didn't say anything either. Okay, thank you very much. Next. Okay, yes.
Wally!
Okay.
This is Gil.
Go ahead.
My name is Gil. I'm from La Habra.
Yeah, Gil.
I like to say that the majority of women that the majority of the women that do claim sexual harassment, most of them do not have any solid proof.
That's right.
You got to have solid proof.
I agree.
And the facts.
If they're able to prove it in the court of law,
is the facts.
Right. If they're able,
Right, Wally.
And the whole thing is
real question
is if they want proof, they can conspire with their fellow workers and do a job on their boss, and it isn't fair. I just say this. There should be no sexual harassment legislation. I believe the women in America can take care of themselves. Yeah! I'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Hot Seat. Well, I'll tell you, we got rid of that loser, didn't we? Now, before we introduce our next loser, it is time to remind you all across America on the Channel America television network that we do love to hear from you. Let's put our address up right now. It's Wally George, P.O. Box 787, Hollywood, California 90078. Write to me from wherever you are watching us across this great land. We'd love to get your mail. If you want a free autograph picture, personally autographed to you, I'll mail one out to you. And tell me hold it down the orange, please. Tell me what's on your mind. And by the way, we're always looking for new victims to debate me on the hot seat. If you're 18 years of age or older and would like to come down and challenge me on some particular issue, write to me at this address, and maybe we'll invite you to come down and take me on the hot seat. That's Wally George, P.O. Box 787, Hollywood, California 90078. Okay? Let me hear from you. Now, let's put our phone number up. You people here in the Southern California area, or if you're going to be visiting out here, this is the number you can call right now. The operator is on duty at this very moment, and you can call area code 714-772-7600 right now to reserve your free hot seat tickets. We tape the show every Wednesday evening at approximately 6 p.m., and the tickets are free, and then you can see yourself on the air Saturday night, 11 to 12 midnight here in Southern California and all across the nation at various times on the Channel America Network. So call right now. Our special hot seat operators are standing by to take your requests for your free hot seat tickets. Call right now, area code 714-772-7600, 714 area code 772-7600. Call right now for your free hot seat tickets. Now, hold on. It is time to introduce, hey, this guy makes me feel like I'm hallucinating or something. Jeez. Well, this guy is the biggest nerd I've ever seen. His name, from the Freedom Fighters, here is Craig McIlvany.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, Craig.
Yes.
I've had people ask me about my hair, but I want to, that cannot possibly be his real hair. Do you think so?
Of course it's my real hair.
By the way, someone in my audience requested that I ask you, how long has it been since you've had a bath?
Hey, now wait a minute. I took one today. I just don't comb my hair. So what?
Oh, boy. He's here to argue with me on the legalization of all drugs in America. And you know what? He's the best excuse I know of. He's the biggest argument that I have on not legalizing drugs in America.
Well,
hey,
no way.
Hey, wait.
Already?
Well, hold it. Give me a close-up.
Oh, now come on. Is this necessary?
Give me a close-up of this moron. This is what happens. This is what happens when you get. Hold it.
Look at Wally, though.
Hold it. This is what happens when your brain gets fried on drugs. How about it? Now you know what? What really What really bothers me, Craig, is you are not just for this legalization of drugs in America. You are for anarchy in America.
I am not. No.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Wally,
You are for people doing whatever they want to do, don't you? No censorship, no nothing.
No, censorship, that doesn't hurt anybody. I'm in favor of laws that protect people's lives and their property. And
you don't, wait a minute, you don't think drugs can hurt people's lives, you idiot?
Only the person that uses them doesn't hurt anybody else. It's a choice.
But the people who use them, try to lure their friends in to use them as well. And I say that's contributing.
What? I'm a member of the Freedom Fighters, and the Freedom Fighters has no opinion on drugs. And even though I support the legalization of all drugs in general, as a Freedom Fighter, I'm rallying for the support and the legalization of marijuana because not only are marijuana laws are more harmful than the drug itself. The drug itself, the marijuana plant, is beneficial for people, and it's beneficial for the animals, and it's beneficial for the earth.
Hold on. Yeah. Don't you? Hey, you are certainly looking at you. You certainly are no good argument for the legalization of the drug. Do you take drugs? Do you take drugs, Craig?
The only drug I take is marijuana.
How many joints do you take per day, Craig?
Oh, I don't have it every day, but
are you high right now tonight?
No comment.
Hey, give me a close-up of his eyes.
No.
Give me a close-up of this guy's eyes. Come on, look in there. Look in there.
No comment.
For you, this guy is stoned. I'll be right back.
Systematics.
We're back, Wally George here with you on Hot Seat. I am the one conservative American on commercial television, and I'm here to take on nitwits like Craig McIlvany.
Wally,
You know what? Hey, hold on. This is the same creepo who came on my program and burned the American flag. That shows you the kind of creepo that you are.
Hey, I burned the flag. I burned the flag because we live in a country that can confiscate your house because you're growing a plant.
Hey, you burned the flag because you're a dirty, rotten scumbag. That's why.
I have a point that you might find interesting. George Bush's life 40 years ago was saved by marijuana.
Oh, really?
Our president,
hold it down.
Our president would not be alive today if it weren't for the marijuana plant.
Oh, how was that, Craig?
During World War II, when he was bombed by the Japanese, he bailed out of his fighter pilot, and his parachute was made out of cannabis hemp, the marijuana plant.
Oh,
right here.
Hey, you know what?
This bill
hold on.
was made. Was made by the government.
Wait a minute. Now you know what he's going to say. And he said he's going to say when he landed, he smoked his parachute. That's the next one.
Our own government produced the film.
Let me see that.
Our own government produced a film.
All right, let me see it.
This is very fragile. Our own government.
This is very. He says this is very fragile. It's called Hemp for Victory.
It was made by our own government. It was made by the USDA to encourage farmers to grow marijuana during World War II.
Hey, wait a minute. I sure want to be careful with this, don't I?
Wally, that film, that was made with your taxpayer money. Our government used to be in favor of marijuana.
No. I'll tell you what. Don't you know? I have had doctors and scientists on this program who have told me that the majority of people who go into heroin and crack, who snort cocaine, have almost always started with marijuana.
No, it doesn't start there. Have you noticed that all crack users and all heroin users...
Have you noticed that you're an ugly idiot?
Wait a minute, Wally. I'm trying to... Marijuana is not the stepping stone. Marijuana is not the stepping stone.
Have I noticed what?
All hard drug users.
Talk.
You say all hard drug users start off with marijuana.
99%.
99% of all hard drug users
Start on marijuana.
They have had apple juice. It's apple juice that causes it, Wally.
Oh, will you get out of here?
They've had water.
Let me document what I'm telling you. People start on marijuana and then let me talk before you answer me.
Well, then let me answer you.
They start on marijuana and then a friend says, hey, you think this is great. Wait till you see how it is to get high on cocaine.
No.
And then they go to cocaine, then they go to heroin, then they go to shooting up. And I'm saying marijuana is the start of the decadence of the end of our society as we know it. Go ahead.
How do you explain the fact? How do you explain the fact there are far more marijuana users than there are hard drug users? If marijuana users truly moved on to harder drugs, then there would be more hard drug users than marijuana users.
Well, I'll tell you. Hey, listen.
And your buddy Clarence Thomas smoked pot. He admitted it.
Wait a minute.
Clarence Thomas. Not only is he a pervert and he puts pubic hairs in coke, he smokes pot.
Wait. Speaking. You're a fine person. Hey, you're a fine person to talk about perverts. This guy doesn't look like he belongs in the human race.
I'm here to say, marijuana, the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency's own judge, Francis Young, declared that marijuana is the safest therapeutically known substance in history.
Oh, you are so full of
That
it.
is not full of it. That's the DEA's own judge. They said that he ordered the DEA to reconsider rescheduling marijuana as a Schedule 1 drug instead of Schedule 2, and they refused.
Now, you have said to me that drugs can save the world.
Marijuana can save the world.
Oh, how can marijuana save the world?
Because the fiber of the marijuana plant, instead of cutting down our precious forests, we can make paper that is in higher quality. It's cheaper to make, and it's naturally white, so we don't have to diox it with bleach. We can make paper out of marijuana. You can make oil to run cars out of marijuana.
I've heard enough. Marijuana cannot
It'll save the world.
Marijuana cannot save the world.
Wally's paranoid.
Marijuana cannot save you either, because you're out of here. Welcome back, Wally George here with Hot Seat, and it's great to have you here. We're here in Southern California, our home base KDOC in Anaheim, California, and of course across this country 6 nights a week on the Channel America television network. And speaking of that, if you've been watching our show across the country, you've been seeing our 900 Call Wally, Talk Back to Wally commercial, and we've been getting lots of calls from all across America. So we're going to take the remaining few minutes on our show here to listen to what some of Americans are saying across this country. Let's go to our first call from Washington, D.C. Go ahead, please.
Just flipping through the channels, and I caught your response about the vulgar language on radios. I think you're way off base. You start with censorship, baby, you'll be out of a job.
Oh, really? Hey, listen, pal. You've probably been out of a job for most of your life. What do you bet that guy is sitting on the unemployment line? What do you think? Don't try to tell me my job, you stupid nitwit. Okay. Let's go to a caller for... We'll take a caller from New York City. Come in, please.
Come on, Neil.
Wally, why you cry about cartoons, but you think it's all right for little kids to play with guns, to play with toy guns? You're a buffoon.
Oh! Listen, you stupid nitwit. Don't you know the little boys have been playing with toy guns for years? I'd hate to think what you're playing with. All right, let's go to our next caller. Yes, come on in, please. Next caller.
You just made a mistake on your program here on 919. You said a Saddam Hussein. It's a Saddam insane.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I like that. Hey, the guy made a little joke there, not bad. He said it's not Saddam Hussein, it's Saddam insane. That's not original, but it's not bad, so thank you very much. Let's go to North Carolina. Come on in, North Carolina. Come here.
Yes, this is W.J. Gore calling from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yes.
I would like to say that if you would not defend every part of the Constitution with your life, then you're a Nazi.
Oh! What's going on here? Hey, listen, Bimbo, you probably voted for David Duke. What do you think? Okay. Next caller, come on in. Next caller.
Wally, if a guest makes a good point, you should admit it instead of trying to defend yourself in order to save face because you lose credibility. Admit the error and go on.
Okay, let me answer that. Whenever I am wrong, I would be happy to admit it, but it just so happens that I never am wrong. Hey, here's a hold on a minute. Here's a bimbo who called in who works in a bondage parlor. Can you believe? Okay. Hold on. Oh, I bring the caller in. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Wally, this is Casey, and I live in Redondo Beach, California, and I work at a bondage parlor. And I think you're really stupid and ignorant, and that before you present your opinion to the whole world, you ought to investigate.
Oh, really? Hey, hold on. I will never investigate your stupid bondage parlor, and you are a bimbo! Okay, that's all the time we're going to have. At least we gave people the chance to talk back to Wally from across America. I'll see you next time. God bless you all. God bless America. Good night, everybody. Thank you.